Hey there, and welcome back to the Android Guys podcast. I'm Scott.
And I'm Luke.
And today's episode is all about cool audio gear from the GravaStar brand.
GravaStar is a brand that's not afraid to push the limits when it comes to audio technology, and we've been blown away by their unique designs.
From futuristic-looking Bluetooth speakers that light up your room to earbuds that make you feel like you're in the front row of your favorite concert.
We'll be diving into some of the products that we've reviewed from GravaStar and sharing our experiences with them.
Whether you're looking to impress your friends with a killer sound system or just want to up your audio game,
this episode of the Android Guys podcast on GravaStar is going to be out of this world. So buckle up and let's dive in.
Just a quick note, this episode is compiled from previously recorded episodes where we talked about GravaStar products. Luke, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about another thing from GravaStar. This is the Alpha65 fast charger. This is a GaN, a gallium nitride, a GaN fast. This is a 65 watt charger.
Okay.
Has 3 ports. You can charge up to 3 devices at a time. And with the GaN technology, it's faster, more powerful, and greener.
Yeah, it's more energy efficient.
Yeah.
Better for the world. So let's talk about this thing.
I mean, it's just like all the GravaStar stuff. It looks like a little robot.
Okay, so that's the lead, right?
Right.
On paper, all these other things come out and you say, cool.
Why do I care?
Yeah, it's very boring. It's a charger. I could do 3 things at once.
This guy is cute.
Yeah, he's it's a different product line.
Yeah.
Or maybe potentially the start of a new product line from GravaStar. Let's take a quick break and then we'll chop this guy up a little bit.
All right.
So the Alpha65 fast charger,
we'll
call him the Alpha65, is a charging block kind of thing.
Yeah.
That you has little prongs that kind of fold down.
Yep.
Plug it into the wall. And when you're not using it, you can tuck them up under the belly.
Yep.
And then you have these feet that kind of articulate to come out the side, but then they're like ski sled kind of tracks.
Yeah. It's like little legs. It kind of looks like almost like raptor legs. Like
it looks like it's going to hop.
Yeah.
Like jump off the table. But it looks very, kind of reminds me of Eve from WALL-E.
Yeah.
With that, just like the eyes and the black face and the white body.
Yep.
But there's a lot of little kind of intentional design to make it look like a robot. And there are 2 little antennae on the back.
Yep.
That make it look like it could also maybe be a spaceship.
Right. Yeah, it's there's like decals, and it has the little 65 number on the side. And it's very, I mean, it's very GravaStar. It feels very much in line with the other products that have this kind of mecha inspired, kind of cyberpunky kind of design style. This one's cool because, you know, you can have this thing sitting on your shelf with the legs sitting on its legs, you know, and the antenna. And then if you need a charger, you just grab this thing and flip the prongs down and plug it right into the wall. It's one of those like hide in plain sight kind of things.
Right. And it just also happens to be incredibly good at what it does.
Yeah.
And so a couple of things with GravaStar that we've seen with its speakers is you tend to pay premium for the aesthetics, the design, the look of these things.
Yep.
You do a little bit of that here, but not nearly as much.
No, not at all.
This is priced very competitively with other chargers that do like a 3-port gallium nitride.
Yep.
You're going to pay maybe $10 more on average.
Yep.
Compared to other brands you might see.
Yep.
But this one here is, again, the other thing we tend to find with GravaStar is these are the types of accessories you get when you're looking for something unique for somebody.
Yeah.
That says, well, I don't know what to get him for Father's Day. I don't know if his birthday's coming up, and I do know he's always, he's got his phone, he's got his watch, he's got all the tech. Well, that stuff all needs to be charged.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing where take it off the desk, plug it in, and you can charge 3 devices at one time.
Yeah. And they charge fast, and it's 65 watts, so it's got enough to be able to charge a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. So you've got a USB-C that you can do at 65 watts. You have another one you can do at 20 watts.
Yep.
And then you've got your standard USB, which you can do at 18 watts.
Yep.
Which, excuse me, is plenty fast for a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you're plugging your phone in overnight, 18 watts is more than adequate. At one time, that was considered fast charging for a lot of people.
Yep.
Excuse me.
It also, they talk about it here, it has real-time protection too. So it has protection for over voltage, over current, short circuit, over temp, over power, under voltage, electrostatic, and anti-interference protection.
Okay. And the whole thing's flame retardant.
Yeah.
Anti-flame.
Yeah. So all of that stuff, like, that might be a standard thing on other ones, but nobody says that.
Yeah.
So that's just added assurance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
So the only thing that I would say from our experience with it is ours has red eyes.
Yes.
Where everything we've seen branding wise, collateral images show like a blue eye.
Right.
Like a light. Like then that's what kind of reminds me of Eve from WALL-E.
Yes.
Ours are red.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe there's a button on here. Because sometimes their products have LED lights of, you can kind of cycle through. And then we thought, well, maybe if we just plug something in, that switches the eyes. So then we know. But nothing we've done so far has changed that. And every other image we've seen along the way seems to indicate that they're blue.
Right. Including the one on the box.
Including the one on the box of the product we have.
Right.
So I don't think we have we did get one prior to launch.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing that might be different.
Yeah.
The eyes might be red.
So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I want the one with the red eyes, we've got a great price for you. If you want limited edition.
If you can find us, you can have it.
Run of one.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Maybe we won a contest. GravaStar, if you're listening and we won, let us know.
That's right. So this guy runs $59.95.
Not bad at all.
Which is, like I said, maybe $10 more than you might find from other brands of products in the same wheelhouse.
Sure.
If you're listening to this and depending on when you're or what your interests are, GravaStar also launched a new Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah. Right
now, if you order that, you do get this Alpha65 charger for free as part of that.
Yeah.
So, yep. I would say check this thing out, especially if you're looking for a new charger to plug in multiple things. You're tired of sharing one outlet and plugging different things in one at a time. This will let you do 3 at one and will be incredibly efficient at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the Alpha65 from GravaStar.
Thanks for listening.
Today I'm going to talk to you about the GravaStar Mars Pro.
Okay.
This is a speaker.
We talked about GravaStar recently.
We did. GravaStar Sirius Pro. These were earbuds.
Yeah, those were like the real kind of industrial looking earbuds. Yeah. Very cool.
Very war torn, battle damaged. Something you'd find in dystopian Fallout kind of game. Yeah. They look like gaming earbuds and the kind of thing that you just have this like extra attention to the cosmetics and just the overall aesthetic of it.
And they were good quality headphones too.
And they were.
So the speaker looks similar or?
So it has the same design language.
Okay.
This speaker, if you're listening, if you remember Attack of the Clones
Mm.
from 2002, so oh my gosh, that's 20 years ago.
I know.
Some of you may not even know what this is.
Yeah.
The speaker is it's an orb that looks like a robot with a tripod legs. So
Okay.
3 legs. It looks like something to me. It looks like the DSD one. It's the dwarf spider droid, and then also from Meet the Robinsons, it looks like Doris, the DOR-15.
Okay. It does. Definitely does.
So it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
This looks a little bit more futuristic, scary, sci-fi, dark future kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of something I would see in like The Matrix almost.
Yeah. So this one comes in a handful of different colors and options. I got the one that's all black.
Okay.
There are a few other ones out there that have some really interesting paint design. There's a special edition one called the Shark 14. That is, it also has some guns mounted on the side of it.
Oh, wow.
And there's different colors. So the speaker itself has a battery built into it. It's a heavy little unit.
Yeah.
It's very dense. It plugs in to the bottom. There's a USB-C, but there is a internal battery, so you can keep this thing wirelessly if you want to put it on your table. You don't have to keep it plugged in.
Nice.
This guy runs at 230 for the black version and goes up to about 350 if you go with the special editions.
Okay.
So for me, I found that it has an average to above average sound for a speaker that would be about $150.
Okay.
The other difference of about 80 is going to come in just that aesthetics.
Yeah.
This is the kind of speaker that looks really cool in the background of a Twitch video.
Yeah.
This looks cool on a desk for gaming.
Yeah, or I mean, you can see it in some of their marketing pictures. Is in with a couple other action figures.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know that that's actually a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah. If you break that thing out in a living room, it's going to draw attention to itself.
Sure.
There's the opposite of minimalist.
Right.
This is something that if you have that and it's playing music, people are, what the heck is that? Is that the actual speaker?
Yeah.
The legs do articulate. You can
nice.
kind of bend them a little bit to make it look like it's in,
set up however you want.
Yeah. There are control buttons on the backside for your power. You have like a there's like a touch panel kind of thing at the top center that is your volume.
Oh.
So you could kind of put your finger anywhere you want on there and kind of drag that up and down to do the volume.
That's cool.
There are some really fascinating LED lights with this.
Yeah.
And they can change colors. You can do different modes to have it kind of like cycle through or pulse kind of, to the music. They look cool. I think there are 6 of them according to GravaStar, but the way that they're actually employed, it looks like there are more of them. It looks kind of like, I don't know if it's just one light that's kind of like obscured and then it's revealed in a couple of spots.
Sure.
But, it's cool.
Nice.
Now, it's not a 360 audio sound. It does have a face that kind of points towards you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are playing music, you want this thing kind of looking at you.
Okay.
And you'll see the light, the way it works. It actually looks very cool when it's, the room is dark or the light's on.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty awesome. It sounds pretty good.
Okay.
It gets a little... When you get outside of that area where it's pointing at you, you start to lose some of the clarity.
Okay.
So like the crispness and the highs and the range, it starts to flatten the sound a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not terrible.
Sure.
You just need to know that this isn't something that will sit in the center of a room. You'll want it kind of pointing at you.
Right.
I mean, it looks really awesome when you're not listening to it or when it's just kind of plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
I gave this a 3.9, so it's
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not the target user, I don't think.
Yeah.
This is the kind of speaker that, like I said, would be good if you're into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
If you have just one of those like really cool rooms, you're like, wow, look at all these lights and action figures and collectibles, and This is the kind of speaker you get somebody who's got everything.
Right.
They don't have this speaker.
Yeah, sure.
This isn't if somebody has, just good old fashioned Bluetooth speakers and pillars and cylinders, this thing is completely different.
Sure.
And, for some people, I think it might be an easy ask for that, extra $75, $80 to go say, well, heck yeah, man, that speaker is really cool. Build quality, this thing is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's solid. The materials, everything feels intentional. It doesn't look like some, look cool, and then when you pick it up, you're like, oh, it's all paint job.
Yeah.
No, it's legit.
Nice.
Setup, performance, warranty. I mean, it's got a 1-year warranty. Battery life on that thing is pretty good. Let me see if I can get you a number for that. 15-hour battery life.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. So it's Bluetooth 5. You can pair it to another one if you wanted to do like a stereo kind of sound.
Okay.
So just know that, that can be kind of pricey.
Sure.
If you're doing that.
Sure.
If you're really
when aesthetics come into play, really, what's money?
Seriously, man. Some of these, when you look at the pictures they have on their website and you see the kind of like how they envision it, it makes sense.
Well, and I mean, like you've said, if you're like a streamer or if video and gaming is like your main thing, putting two of these together for a stereo sound, this would look very cool on a desk.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't have like low latency,
Sure.
So if you're using it for gaming, you're not going to get like this to the microsecond, millisecond kind of sound. But it's, it's a speaker that.
But Bluetooth 5 is pretty good.
Yeah. It's a speaker that begs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And looks cool even if you're not using it. It's, if you're a content creator and you're trying to figure out how do I do some set decoration, what do I do here? This is a practical way to do that.
Yeah.
You can spend plenty of money on something that's just a sci-fi set piece. So this is functional.
Right.
So that's the GravaStar, and it's called the Mars Pro. They do have a handful of color options. The whole thing with GravaStar to me is, their stuff looks like the kind of things you would find in 100 years from now, 300 years from now, some kind of fallout, nuclear waste,
cyberpunk kind of thing,
something that's picked up in the middle of a game that looks like, oh yeah, that's very intentional, very very cool design stuff. So they've got a handful of different speakers and earbuds. And they also have for this one, and I didn't review this, but they do have a charging base that you can get for it.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like something that might be like a bomb or some kind of like a sensor or something that you would put down. But it's about $60. You set the speaker down on top of that, and it kind of charges that up, but it's got its own lights as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So GravaStar, and again, the speaker is called the Mars Pro. You're looking at about $230. I would say it's, for the right person, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for a Bluetooth speaker that sounds good,
there's plenty other out there.
Plenty of other options. Save your money if you don't need that look.
Right.
But if you're like, what do I get my son to decorate his? What do I get my son? He's got a bunch of stuff. He never asks for anything.
Right.
This is cool. I think he would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Put it in his dorm or whatever. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Scott.
You got it.
So we are talking about the GravaStar Supernova. It is a Bluetooth speaker lamp.
So it's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
GravaStar speakers and their products generally look like something from a sci-fi universe.
Yeah, cyberpunkish, post-apocalyptic, very tech-heavy.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yes. This one almost, to me, kind of looked a little steampunkish.
Yeah.
Because of the almost like an Edison bulb kind of light in the center of it.
Yep.
So, like other speakers of the GravaStar portfolio,
yeah,
these have 3 little articulating feet.
Yeah.
They look like spider legs.
Yep.
And then it kind of sits on this almost like a tripod of a mount kind of legs.
Yep.
And instead of having this giant orb or spider-like look, it's like having a tall water bottle kind of shape to it.
Yep.
And what looks like an Edison light inside of it.
Yeah.
And it lights up in different ways, different effects. And one of those effects, the camping mode, does look like something that would be steampunkish.
Definitely.
But so it comes in a black and a white.
Yep.
And then each of those has different light modes.
Yep.
There are, I want to say 3 light effects.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a couple of different colors you could go through. So on top of the speaker, you've got your buttons to control for like play, pause, advance your tracks.
Yep.
But then you also have the ability to change your light effect.
Mm-hmm.
Doing so, you can have one where it just kind of like shows the color itself, kind of just display itself.
Yep.
But then you can also do one where it does like a, I don't know the name of it. Maybe you can find it here while I talk about it. But it kind of does this like breathing pulse kind of effect. And it cycles through colors within like a small palette.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have one that's like a white and a pink and a purple kind of glow through that. And you'll also get the light effects on the feet. There's some LEDs in there as well. And then you also have just the standard colors as well.
Yeah. That is called dynamic light mode.
Dynamic light mode. There it is. So like other GravaStar products, you can pair 2 of these together to get a true stereo sound.
Yep.
These have 7-hour playtime. It is a substantial feeling. It's very intentionally designed. You actually put it together. There was a tiny little, like a hook handle.
Yep.
Comes with it in the box. You just kind of screw that in with the little Allen wrench. So it looks like something that you might be able to kind of like hang or to if you're walking through a cave.
Well, they show it's interesting. Their photos on the website are very well done. They show somebody holding it. It looks like it's in campfire mode, which is to have that flicker of like a lamp.
Yeah.
Somebody holding it, walking around like the outdoors. But then there's another shot of somebody who has that hook and it's like hooked onto their backpack. So it's kind of like a safety light if you're walking around at night or something like that. This thing is cool looking. It's, you have to like, and we've said this with GravaStar before, you have to like the GravaStar aesthetic.
Yeah.
Which is that mecha inspired high tech look.
Yep.
And this is no different. And I think it looks really cool.
And it sounds really good too.
It does sound very good.
This is a brand that was pretty much not on my radar a year ago, but I've had a chance to check out, I want to say 3 or 4 of its products now. And each one of them, again, it has its own distinct look and feel.
Yeah.
But it also has its the same level of quality across the board. And they sound great. The way this is designed, there is no like real front to it.
Right.
So it's kind of got like a 360 or like a surround sound to it.
Yep.
Bluetooth 5.3, very easy to pair. To go in and set that up. And it just it's one of those products where, and I think we've said this with each of them, it's the thing you get somebody who seems to have things already.
Sure.
I don't know what to get my nephew for graduation. He's got all the stuff he really wants. Nobody's going to turn down a cool Bluetooth speaker.
Right.
Especially one that, if they're into gaming or they've got a so-called man cave or any type of like to just collect cool things.
Yeah.
This looks really cool when it's just sitting on the desk.
Yep.
Whether you're using it or not. And then when you power it on, it just looks very interesting.
Yeah.
So the one we got here at the office was black. And it's I I hate to part with things like this.
Yeah.
Because they're all cool.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I'm running low on space here in the office to just kind of like let it sit there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I've got more speakers than I know what to do
right,
with.
Right.
But it's gonna go to a good home that somebody can appreciate a quality speaker.
Yeah.
This and that's to bring up the point of the price of this.
Yeah.
It is $180.
Right. And that's probably a little shocking if you look at it, but I will say it's made very well,
mm-hmm.
and it sounds very good. And I think if you mix the idea of a Bluetooth speaker and a lamp together, especially one that charges and it's a wireless lamp, it's makes a little bit more sense because it is so designed.
Yeah.
Has such a design aesthetic. But yeah, it's probably on the high side of what I would expect for something like this, but with as much design and kind of unique style that this offers, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a 25-watt speaker. If you went based off of just the bullet points, you're going to say, oh, I could get more for less.
Sure.
But if you add in $30 to $50 for the design,
mm-hmm.
you're right at where it should be.
Right. And
that's kind of where this is. And as an early bird at launch, if you buy it, you also have some like a free charger that you can get. There's another new product in their portfolio. So at $180, it's kind of an ask for certain people.
Sure.
But for the right person, they would look at that and go, this is really cool. Where'd you get it?
Yeah.
And I need to get my hands on that. So.
Right. And it daisy chains too. That's another big thing that we're seeing more with speakers. So the fact that it daisy chains to others is that's a nice selling point.
Yeah. So if you put one on, opposite ends of a room and they've got them kind of dancing to the music, flickering ambient light.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool effect.
Yeah.
So that's the Supernova by GravaStar.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Hey, this is Luke with the Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hey, this is Scott. I'm here with Luke.
What's up, man?
I have a speaker that I would love to tell you about.
Ooh, we get lots of sound things here.
We do.
And I think the one that you're talking about today is from a company that is very interesting.
Yes.
They do. They kind of refresh this space a little bit.
They speak to a very specific audience.
Yeah. This is not bury the lead. Take it away. You're talking about.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go. I guess you can go.
All right. I'm going to talk about the GravaStar. That's the brand. Venus. And that is a little portable Bluetooth speaker. We've talked about GravaStar in here before.
Yes.
Maybe a couple times. I think we did the Mars speaker.
Yep.
And some earbuds.
Yep.
So this is going to maybe sound familiar to you.
Okay.
It's a cool speaker for the right person.
Okay.
At the right price.
Yep.
That is, and I think the best way to put it is, it's a different one.
Yes.
This is one that maybe wants to be seen. This is one that looks cool in your YouTube video.
Yeah.
This is one that sits on your shelf and people go, what is that?
What is that?
That's a speaker.
What game is that from?
Like, oh, that actually is a speaker. It lights up,
Yeah.
Yes, this is also it's kind of like a shrunken down version of the Mars speaker. And that means nothing to somebody who doesn't know what that is. So
the speaker looks kind of like what you would imagine some sort of droid from a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
Or a sci-fi TV show.
It's like an eyeball with legs.
Yeah.
Little round orb, robot looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Mars Pro is more kind of scary, spider, futuristic. The Venus is a smaller version that looks more like a space pod kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
If the other things come out of
The Matrix.
The Matrix and War of the Worlds. This might come out of like a James Cameron film.
All right.
This might be something that's on the set of I don't know. Let's see. Not necessarily Terminator. Maybe The Abyss.
Ooh, okay.
Is a deep cut for people who
right.
may not even be old enough to know what the hell that is. So it's a portable little speaker that's round.
Yeah.
Largely round with 3 little legs, tripod legs.
Mm-hmm.
These do not articulate. They have little rubber boots to them
Yeah.
to keep them from sliding around on a table.
Yeah.
Comes in a number of colors. And you're looking at about $90 for a couple of them. And then there's a few options that are going to be closer to $60.
Okay.
Depending on what color you're looking at.
Okay.
These are speakers that don't necessarily sound any better than other speakers.
Sure.
These are speakers that are generally a little bit cooler. They're more about the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And for the right person, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person who you're looking to get a gift, here we are in the fourth quarter, end of the year, and you're thinking, I want to get this college age kid or my teen something that's different. I don't think anybody's going to complain about having an extra Bluetooth speaker.
Sure.
So this would be one that you're like, yep, this one actually is pretty cool. When you turn it on, it lights up. It's got these LED lights. It looks like something that might have come off of a spaceship.
Yep.
Or have been, sent back from the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this speaker.
Yeah.
I think for the price of about $90, I gave it a score of 3.9. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's out of 5. It's pretty much 4s across the board except for the battery, which is just not bad.
Okay.
I didn't have any problems with it. I gave it it's a 10-hour battery life, and it's kind of hard to knock that too much.
Yeah.
So I give it a 3.5 for that.
Yeah.
Because of its size.
Right.
You feel it, you pick it up. It's kind of dense.
Mm-hmm.
You would hope that some of that weight is the battery.
Right.
And then again, I don't know how much battery you could squeeze into that. But it's the whole thing weighs about a pound.
That's not bad.
So it's a dense little orb.
Yeah.
So I was surprised that it was just 10 hours. I was thinking, 12, 15, I would have put it easily in the 4,
sure.
Range of 4 for that. A couple of features. You can pair it to another one.
Ah, okay.
And get like
stereo.
A true stereo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something where if you got 2 of the same color or 2 different colors, you can kind of set them up and give yourself a more immersive sound.
Mm-hmm.
The RGB lights are pretty cool little effects, so that if you wanted to kind of set the mood for your video, if you're using it,
sure.
If you want to turn, I know some people do like Twitch streams and gaming or just their YouTube channels. They just have interesting things going on in the background.
Yeah,
this will definitely be something that does that. So sound wise, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything that was like, hey, this is the best little thing you're gonna find. I mean, it's a $90 speaker.
Sure. I
don't really hold. I don't set too high of an expectation at that point, anyways.
Right.
But it's Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C charger on the bottom under the belly.
Yeah.
And the model that I got was the kind of like the mostly black with a little bit of color design. I think I sound like I'm not excited about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's
right aesthetic.
It's not mine.
It's a very designed style. It's very much it fits a certain, aesthetic, and it's not one of those that can be put out. It definitely can be put out somewhere and draw attention and make a statement, but it's not somewhere that fits everywhere.
Right.
So,
and it's not IP rated, so it's not like the kind of speaker you're going to take. And the material, if you feel it, you feel like if it fell, you might put a dent or scuff this thing.
Gotcha.
I mean, that might even add to the look for some of the colorways of this.
Right.
But it's a perfectly cool, serviceable thing. It largely, as with all the other GravaStar stuff, is more about the look of it.
Sure.
With an average kind of audio experience all around.
Right.
So if you're looking for something that's a gift, you're looking at $60 to $100 depending on the colorway.
Yep.
I think these are definitely worth that price.
Yeah.
Much more than that, I would say maybe not. If you're looking for something that's a little bit bigger, more eye-catching, there are some other speakers. The Mars Pro from them is definitely a more in-your-face, more deliberate, hit you over the head kind of design.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more like, hey, this sits on my desk. I come home and I can listen to my music on it or my podcast while I'm working, and then just put it up on the shelf when I'm done.
Right.
Yeah, it's that kind of a speaker. So, yeah, that's the Venus. And again, the company is GravaStar.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.